Hello, 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 amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Bone Radio.
And hold on to your hats, because it's time for liftoff. 9, 7, 4, 3. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, man. Help me out. Please. I can't get through it myself.
Ignition.
I'll do the language stuff. You do the math. Here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no. It's show with no name time on Bond Radio. It's the show with no name.
Let's go. All aboard, folks. All aboard. Time to learn some English. Time to laugh. Time to play. And time to be with our amigos. Our fellow classmates. Welcome, folks. Welcome, welcome. I trust you are warmed up. My buddy Fitz was warming you guys up in his program, No Excuses. And right after this program, hey, it's an honor. It's an honor to be sandwiched en un sándwich. Eso, lo has oído bien. Es un verbo en inglés. To be sandwiched between two superstars like Fitz and Ximena. It is absolutely an honor. Remember, download our free Vaughn Radio app, and you can listen to Fitz and Ximena every single day. Make sure you participate the same way you do on the show with no name. Whether it's live or not, doesn't matter. The important thing is participate, because if you do, you will be actively learning English. I think that's one of the things about the shows here on Vaughn Radio. We are actively trying to get you active and proactive when it comes to your English learning. So most radio stations, you sit back and you listen. It's passive. And that's fine. That's cool. You know, a podcast is passive. You just listen to it. You don't have to do very much. But Vaughn Radio, we are very demanding of our students. We hold you to the highest standards. And as you guys know, this month, we just started it a few days ago. Now you can do the Oxford Test of English at any of our Vaughn centers.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. Podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
That's right, folks. You can join us now. Get more information at our website. Another thing you should do is follow us on social media. Follow Vaughn, follow Tosh Pasqua, follow Kyle Miller, follow all of us, and you'll be learning English. And you'll also find out about all our upcoming events, such as Feria del Libro Madrid, Hey, it sounds better, doesn't it, with a little music? Join us May 26th to June 11th. We will be at the Feria del Libro. More information to follow. But just know that you need to be in Madrid. One of those weekends. There are 3 weekends. Retiro Park, Feria del Libro Madrid. Mark your calendars, May 26th to June 11th. All right, folks, but follow us for more information. And if you follow us, you'll do really well in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. What? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Hands up. Pop quiz. Come on, baby. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. Pop quiz.
Rebota el rebote, tu culo explota.
Hey, it's not me. I didn't say it. In fact, my daughter taught me that. And I think she got that. Something tells me she got it from one of her uncles. I don't want to point any fingers, but there are always the uncles who are like, pedo. Well, I think she got it from. I'm not saying I'm not like that, but that one, obviously, I didn't know that one. So, hey, you guys, a lot of times I talk about what I'm teaching Lara, but what's Lara teaching me? So much. What she's teaching me is endless. All right, amigos. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for bringing the magic every single day. And thank you for spreading the word about Vaughn Radio, about Vaughn Radio, about our accounts as well. I know a lot of you, how many times it happens to me on Instagram. Somebody's like, @ Paquita, este es el tío que te decía para aprender inglés. Whatever, those little things help because, hey, one person talks to another person, and we all know how that goes. All right, so folks, now, if you can't wait till the book fair, and I get it, because if you want to get some materials at our Vaughn Tienda, especially ones that just came out, like Essential English and Conversaciones, Natural English and Essential English. I have both of them here. In fact, I can show them to you. Natural English just came out recently, as well as Essential English. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Natural English teaches you how to sound like us, sound natural. Every day I mention that. I'm like, guys, you want to sound natural. You want everything to be, short and sweet. And because a native speaker doesn't, elaborate. What do you think? It's okay. It's pretty good. Now, I want you guys to go a step further than native speakers, because native speakers always say nice, cool, brilliant. Lo mismo en español. Guay, qué guay, chulo. Whatever your 3 go-to adjectives may be. But we're always trying to, I think of it like a secret club, and you guys are all in a secret club, and all these little expressions and codes and winks and nods, guiños, and I don't know them, and I want to know them so I can be in your club. And that's why I always try and teach you guys the language we use, the way we pronounce, the way we do things in this secret, which is not so secret. It's not a secret club, but as I said, this is more of a metaphor. All right, amigos, welcome aboard. I see so many people joining us, which is wonderful. It's great to see so many people learning English. I was going to say in Spain, but really all over the world. Great to have you on board. Let's take a look at the pop quiz today. Now, the pop quiz is coming from Essential English. It's got downloadable audio. Let me actually, I can show you the book a little bit. If you're watching on the live stream, if not, I can explain it. I'm holding up the book. It's called Essential English. It's got a British flag and an American flag, which I think is pretty good because now that's telling you it's not just going to teach you British English or American English, dude, but it's going to teach you just, how to speak, how we speak and how to, because I always tell people I understand British people and they understand me. So don't get too caught up on British or American. The real thing is Australian or Scottish. Oh, shit. Oh, ahí sí que nos hemos metido bien. El inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas. Essential English. You've got all kinds of different chapters here. Let me just read some of the chapters that they have. At the jeweler's. Hey, maybe you're proposing to your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You want to pick up a nice gem. Maybe you want to get some bling bling. Bling bling. Yeah, eso es como decimos diamantes, joyas que tienen mucho brillo. Bling bling, right? Cuando le da la luz. I love onomatopoeic things. You guys know, in all of my books, you'll find onomatopoeic. Now, this is not one of my books, but like all of my books, this book comes with audio. And like all of the books, I think almost every book in the Von Tienda has downloadable audio. I remember the days when we used to have it on a CD. In fact, I remember the days very well. Why? Well, my first book, I've got it right here. If you notice in my studio, I've got a lot of Vaughn materials. And this is English everywhere. And I've got the original here. Now they sell the pocket version, but the original comes with 2 CDs, which are collector's items. So let me explain something. If you guys have like the first editions of my first books, yeah, hold on to that because English Everywhere, which is my first book, we turned it into a pocket edition, a lot more comfortable to carry around. Okay, it's not as colorful. This was the original here. Also, without CDs. Who wants CDs if you can just go to a website and hit download and then put it on your phone or put it wherever you want, on a flash drive and un pen, como decís. So really, Vaughn Radio, we've adapted our materials for, the who wants to, if you put 2 CDs in a book, which is what you needed, imagine that, it didn't fit on one. 2 CDs in a book. Well, that brings the cost up. So this has made it cheaper, right? We can offer the materials at a better price because, well, we don't have to include that price of, a CD, that brings the price up. So these are just little things that have been happening behind the scenes, but always know with you guys, in mind. Siempre estamos pensando en vosotros. And I don't just mean at the tienda, I mean at the radio, I mean in our classes, I mean in the training program with Fitz. We are very student/teacher oriented. Richard will tell you this Friday, he's on my podcast and he says the backbone, and he said this a million times and he's on record saying it, and I've got him recorded saying it. The backbone of Vaughn is not Vaughn Radio. It's the teachers. Now, Vaughn Radio is run by teachers, right? All of us are teachers. So really going back to it, he's right. All right. Well, we're going to take a look at the camping chapter because my daughter asked me the other day. We were watching, I think it was Mr. Bean. There's a Mr. Bean cartoon. My daughter loves Mr. Bean. Yes, I imitate. Excuse me. Yes, thank you. So we watched the Mr. Bean cartoon, and he was camping. And my daughter asked me, "Vio la tienda campaña?" And she goes, "Papi, what's that? What's it?" And then she's like, "I want to do that." She's at that phase now. Like everything she asks me, and then I tell her what it is. She goes, "Well, I want to do that." I'm like, "Well, of course we can do that. Sure, I like doing that too." And we were talking about camping, obviously. So let's. This is something. It's something, a lovely activity, something you can do with friends, family, and well, in Europe, everything's really. I mean, you can be camping one day in the south of France and then be in northern Africa, that night. So think about that. I don't know how many campsites there are, and I don't know very much about camping, but I know when I was a kid, we always went camping all the time, right? And the only thing I've done that's anywhere near camping these days is music festivals, which and I haven't been to a music festival in 10 years, I would say so. Or I'll correct that statement. I've been to music festivals, but I haven't camped out. Mira, vocabulario que está surgiendo. I haven't camped out. I've usually booked hotels. I remember when I went to BBK, the last time I went to a festival, Green Day was there, and a friend was like, "Oh, we're gonna camp." I said, "Have a nice time." I said, "I'll be having a nice hot shower after the festival, and I'm gonna sleep in a comfortable bed. I'm too old for this shit." Como dice el de Lethal Weapon. Creo que es Lethal Weapon, right? Is it Lethal Weapon? I'm getting too old for this shit. It's like a classic Hollywood line. All right, so I'm gonna teach you guys English practical, the same way I do with my daughter, with real situations. I went to Festimad with a good friend of mine. If you guys remember Festimad, it was the year all hell broke loose. If all hell breaks loose, se lía la gorda. So it was the year all hell broke loose. Marilyn Manson, System of a Down. It was an awesome lineup. Lineup es los grupos que van a tocar. But there was some problems. There was a huge delay. And when I mean a delay, I don't mean 20 minutes. I mean hours were going by and nobody was on stage and nobody gave us any information, which I thought, like, listen, if you give people information, even if we don't like it, at least we know what's up. The worst thing you can do is have a concert, in the middle of Getafe, I think it was, at this industrial, site. And you got all these people over there, and they're angry because they just want to know what the hell's going on. So the communication, I remember that was one of my first, I think it was my first festival in Spain. And I was like, what the fuck was that? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had been to the United States where usually, again, there are exceptions everywhere. Festivals are pretty well organized because of insurance. No quieren problemas con el seguro. So, they're usually over. They check your back. They go crazy over there. But still, there are problems that arise. So I remember that one, Festimad. And then, I've been to many, many festivals, but now also you can go to a festival for a day and you don't have to camp out. So, Rage Against the Machine is playing on that Friday. I'm going to go that Friday, but I'm not going to get the 3-day ticket. So you got a lot of options, and festivals are coming back now with the summer. But I learned a lesson. No, I'm going to tell you in Spanish para no darte la traducción. Nunca pongas la tienda de campaña en una colina. Okay, there's your translation. A word to the wise. Consejos. No? Un buen consejo, tómatelo. Okay? A word to the wise. No pongas la tienda de campaña en una colina. All right, I want you to give me that. I want you to translate that. I learned that lesson at Festimad. I'll tell you the story once we take a look at your comments. But you can learn about all this vocabulary. Poner una tienda de campaña. Do you know how to say it? Let us know. Remember, you can participate in our virtual classroom. Let's get a little beat and check in with our students. Hey, there they are. What's up, everybody? What's up, happy campers? By the way, tengo que hacer la ráfaga y ya. There's an FYI episode on camping. Entonces, I imagine if you've heard the episode, you're going to do okay in today's pop quiz. All right, let's check in with our super show with no-namers. We've got Kubla. He says, happy International Women's Day. Fascinating ladies. Yes. How could I forget? Thank you, Kubla. Mwah. Love you, ladies. Love you. All the strong women, right? All the strong, my mother, my grandmother, the ladies here on the show with no name. Strong. You represent strength. Fortaleza, I always forget that word. Fuerza, strength. O sea, viene de strong, es el adjetivo. So yes, ladies. Oh yeah. Let's see. Monse says Wednesday already. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Have a super day. Monse, now that you're here, we know we're going to have a super day. No doubt about it. There's Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, friends. What a sunny day we can enjoy here in Las Fallas land. I was thinking, I'm like, sunny day. Oh, claro. You're in a different city. I was like, last time I checked here in Madrid, the sun was nowhere to be seen. Have fun at Fallas, buddy. Don't light yourself on fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Oh, no. Empezamos muy mal. Guys, if I'm already telling bad jokes and we're just getting started, oh, you guys are in trouble. Well, I'm making up for the jokes. No, recuperando, making up for the jokes we missed yesterday. There's Vero. Vero says, morning, beautiful people. Hump day in the house. What's up under the sun today, guys? Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day to you too, Vero, and all the lovely ladies who make this life amazing. All right, let's see. Kubla says, what's cooking? Good looking. What's up? What's up, Kubla again? Leo says, hi, friends. Happy to join all of you today. Yeah, Leo, it's been a while, man. We missed you. Where you been? Where you been? Don't go away too long, Leo. Well, no, I've got my eye on Leo because Leo's also in my community. So I'm watching you, Leo, even when you're not here on the show with no name. Hey, as a good teacher should. He says, hi, friends. Happy to join all of you today. So far this week, I've been half-assed with the show with no name. So the verb is to half-ass something. So I've been half-assing or I've been half-assed with the show with no name. Oh, don't worry, buddy. Great vocabulary, though. I can see somebody follows me on social media. I just posted a video yesterday. Hacerlo a medio gas. Man, you half-assed it. Excellent. He says, but today I'm ready to rock. Glad to hear it. He says, I hope nobody comes at me and puts a damper on it. Enjoy your day, dear ladies. Leo, if anybody tries to put a damper on your day, I'll kick their fucking ass. Chris, what's up? Chris will help me. Chris says, hiya, Alberto and mates. Happy Wednesday, Women's Day, to whom it may concern. And let's go. Oh, yeah. There's David. David says, come on. Morning. Wow, guys, I really have to applaud your energy. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for giving me some of that energy. Let's see. Nihad, speaking of people with special energy, Nihad says, ordinary teachers tell students what life is all about. Extraordinary teachers like Alberto let students discover life on their own while watching over their backs. Good morning. Well, hey, as I said, if I'm your teacher, I'm paying attention. A lot of my students, yesterday I had a class in my community with my students. And, one of my students, Edgar, was blown away. I was like, Edgar, you don't like this one, do you? He's like, you remembered? I said, yeah, I remembered that you didn't like that this word sounded like that word. La palabra era quilate y zanahoria. Suenan igual. And he was like, pero, he was in disbelief. And I had to I was like, Edgar, trust me. They're pronounced the same. And he liked the fact that I remembered. I was like, I know you had a problem with this at first. He's accepted it since then. All right. So let's see. Anybody else checking in with us? We got Laura. There she is, our lovely Laura. She says, good morning, brilliant show with no namers. I won't be able to follow the whole show today. Oh, no. Oh, that's sad. Well, okay. Well, do whatever you can. She says, but I wanted to tune in to say hi and wish everyone a fantastic day Happy Women's Day. This is for all the ladies and your moms, your aunts, all of you. Thank you for bringing the magic. Folks, I can't believe it, but we've got to go to our first commercial break here. Yeah, I know. Time flies when you're having fun. The good news, we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So, stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. You are listening to the Show with No Name 2.0 on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. It's interactive. It's free. And you can follow us all day long if you have our Vaughn Radio app. If you don't have the app, download it. It's definitely worth it. You'll have English everywhere you go. Another way, too, to make sure you're learning English and getting the full experience is by following us on social media. And I'm going to urge you guys to participate. I do it every day. Remember, you can have a voice here on the Show with No Name now. Yeah. You can send us a voice message and we'll hear your voice. That's awesome. Many of you have participated already. If you'd like to, send us a 1-minute voice message to my email, aalonso@grupovaughn.com. It's aalonso@grupovaughn.com. Send me a 1-minute voice message. And by the way, we've got a message today. But first, let's kick off with our Say What? Say what? What? It's the Say What soundbite. It's the Say What soundbite. Huh? That's right, amigos. The Say What soundbite, where we hear from a famous person and you guys tell me what's being said. But first, I just want you to give me a summary of what you heard in your own words. Are you guys ready? This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
Which is why you should turn around and go. Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study. Because of me, you didn't. But I was selfish, and I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
Oh, wow. Sounds like the person is very emotional, huh? Wow. Sounds even a bit melodramatic, if you ask me. All right. Well, it's not about what I think here. I'm asking you guys for your opinion, for what you heard in the Say What soundbite. Let me give it to you a second time, and then we'll check out our pop quiz. We haven't checked the answers yet because there's so much participation, which is awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Well, here it is, the Say What soundbite for the second time.
Which is why you should turn around and go. Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study. Because of me, you didn't. But I was selfish, and I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
All right, folks. There you go. That's the second listen. You're going to hear it an additional 2 times. I think it's relatively easy. You know, you guys were able to figure out Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I mean? So you got it. You got this one. I believe in you. All right, let's take a look at our translation. I said the translation was nunca pongas una tienda de campaña en una colina. All right, let's see. The first person to participate is Kubla, and he says, never camp out on a hill. I'm going to give it to you. I like it. It's not the one I had there, but yeah, to camp out. Hacer camping. I was looking for poner tienda de campaña more specifically, but I'll take, as I said, I'll take it. But just to explain the difference, to camp out can be, vamos a hacer camping. It's a little bit different. And poner la tienda de campaña would be the act of montándolo, which is more what I was looking for, but good. I'll take camp out. It's a great phrasal verb. Let's see if anybody got the one I had in mind. There's Leonardo. He says, never pitch your tent on a hill. Yeah, that's the one. To pitch a tent. So don't pitch. It's an interesting one because pitch is, in baseball, tirar, lanzar, but never pitch a tent or your tent on a hill. And I'm serious. We thought, this is close. Everybody else is stupid going so far away. We'll just get on this hill over here. And worst night of my life. I just kept, my friend and I, we were at the bottom of the tent in like the fetal position, looking like pretzel. It was, guys, never pitch your tent on a hill. Oh, and I wanted to point that out too. If you're pitching a tent, it's another way of saying you have an erection too. Okay, now, do I have to explain it or does everybody get the visual? I think everybody can get that visual there, right? Okay. Let's see what else. Monse, I like it. Monse says, here's some advice. While camping, do not set up the tent on a hill. Excellent. To set up. Montar. So to pitch a tent, to set up a tent. Great. Also, to put it up like a Christmas tree too. So we're going to put up a tent. We're going to pitch a tent. We're going to set up a tent. Those are 3 different ways to say poner la tienda de campaña. So great job. There's my dad. Speaking of camping, Dad, remember how many times we went camping? I remember camping in the backyard. I remember camping with the church group in cabins and all kinds of crazy things. And I remember one night it was pouring rain and my father and I we were in the tent. And I think it was me. I touched the roof, and you're not supposed to do that because that it's like it literally rained on us. So lesson learned. I'm sure you remember that, Dad. Not fondly, like, oh shit, we're getting soaked, empapados. But also the good thing is, since we were on a church retreat, there was a cabin and it had bunk beds, literas. I think you say literas, bunk beds, those two that are on top of each other. So my dad says, and very gladly I say good morning to you all. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York. Very nice to have you on board, Dad. All right, let's see. Kubla participating in the Say What soundbite. Say What soundbite, no sé hablar. It sounded like an apologetic American man telling a lady that she should turn around and hit the road. All right, I think you've got it over there, Kubla. Good expression. Darse la vuelta y largarse, to hit the road, como la canción. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Doble negación. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Or sería anymore. Bueno, pero no sonaría igual. Don't you come back anymore. No, it's no more, porque tiene que haber una sílaba. It's just like this. I can't get any satisfaction. Well, it doesn't sound as good, does it? Well, that's the real way to say it. Poor Mick Jagger doesn't know his grammar. No, I'm joking. So let's see. Monse said, rewind. Monse says, I heard a sad American man explaining how sorry he was for some choices he made. En vez de did, Monse, te hago un ajuste, apunta a todos, you make choices in life. So some choices he made in the past. Monse, excellent, wonderful. Monse says, wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. Monse, are you telling me you got it over here? Wait a second. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Monse. And Monse, she's our series queen. La reina de las series, our series queen. Chris, you're our movie queen, as you know. But our series queen is Monse. And wow, that was lightning speed. Excellent job. All right, let's see. Vero says, an American man, going back to the Say What soundbite, because there are more people participating. Vero says, an American man is telling a lady she should have left him when she had the chance. Vero, beautiful. Short and sweet, but you said it nicely. Leo says, it's a movie. Well, kind of. Series. I just gave it away. Acabo de soplar que es una serie. Because I said our series queen figured it out. So Leo says, it's a movie where the male character is telling his partner to turn around and go. They missed their chance to make it up, hacer las paces. Entonces ahí omitimos el it. Pero muy bien, Leo. Even though he's too selfish, he wanted her to stay with him there. Won't you stay with me? I just won't back down. Who's that guy? Sam Smith. He copied I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Poor Tom Petty. Let him rest in peace. Don't steal his songs. Oh, man. All right. Well, it's not time for music yet. It's not time for Name That Lyric, but it is time for one of the most challenging sections on the show, and that's our Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. That's right, folks. That's right. It's our Spelling Bee only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to go through some people over here. Well, people, sometimes they're things. Today, 6 people. They all have something in common. I want you to tell me who the people are, and if you know what they have in common. You'll get 2 chances. But first, we've got a message over here. We've got our blinking light, and let's see who we're going to hear from today. Remember, if you guys want to leave me a message, you can do it. Leave a 1-minute voice message on your phone and then send it to my email address, Alonso, sin nada, guión ni nada, doble A, ¿no? Alonso at arroba grupovon.com. All right, here's let's see who we're going to hear from today.
Hi, thanks for calling the show with no name. I can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone.
You all right, mate? It's your mate, Mitch McGregor, from the punk band Magic Mace. Mate, you says you was going to return me Grand Theft Auto 3. Well, I'm still waiting, mate. Tonight we got a gig. Why don't you stop by, mate? Gonna be a good crack. I was on the piss all night, mate. I'm really hungover, mate. I'm gonna take some aspirin and have an English breakfast, and I'll call you back, mate. But I got some backstage passes for you if you want. Cheers, mate. So, oh, by the way, I'm thinking of writing you a jingle for the show with no name. I'm working on something right now in the studio. I'll send it to you when I'm fucking satisfied with it. Right now, I think it's quite shy. Whatever. Alexa, write me a song.
All right. Hey, it's my buddy Mitch McGregor from Eastern London. That's right, mate. He's got quite a funny accent. Did you hear how he said Grand Theft Auto 3? He said Grand Theft Auto Free. So that was kind of strange, wasn't it? He goes, whatever. He sounds like he's like clipping his words. I don't know if you guys know a good friend here of Vaughn, one of our greatest teachers, Shrina. She talks like that. She's from that area. So Mitch, really cool guy. He's a starving artist. He's in a band called Magic Mace. Mace is, look, if somebody attacks you, you spray it in their eyes. Okay. And Magic, it's an interesting name. He said he was going to write me a jingle too for the show. So that would be really cool. Well, thanks, Mitch. And if you guys are interested, if you want to see Magic Mace, I'm sure my buddy Mitch can get you some backstage passes. But yeah, you got to try and understand him. That's the only thing. He's like, mate, it's Grand Theft Auto 3. All right. Well, if you want to leave us a message like Mitch and like many other people who have left us messages here on the show with no name, you know what to do. It's time for our spelling bee. It's time for round 1. The first person is Oliver space Stone. The second person is starting again. Second one is James space Avery. The third one, Jesse space Ventura. The fourth one is Tom space Selleck. The fifth one is Pat space Sajak. And the last one is R period space Lee space ERMEY. Wow. Let me catch my breath, please. I mean, that's I can't go much faster than that. That's my top speed over there. Okay. That's my Ave speed, my high speed rail. No, that's like my lightning speed over there. But let's see if anybody got it. Are you kidding me? Dude, I didn't even catch my breath yet. Unfreaking believable. Let's see if they're right. Ladies and gentlemen, unreal. This man is definitely made of steel, made of iron. It's born to Iron Man. Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to give you this a second time for all us mortals, us normal people. That was incredible, Born to Iron Man. Really, really incredible speed. I don't. Again, I'm being dead serious. I don't think I would have gotten it at that, at that speed, depending on how much coffee I've got in my system. All right, now and hang on, there's Chris Valrol as well. But what do you guys have for breakfast? Seriously. I mean, what the hell are you guys having for breakfast that's so strong? Oh my God. At least English wise, right? Are you having I guess what would be an English breakfast, an English cereal? Are you having crumpets for breakfast and a spot of tea? Because it's incredible. I'm just impressed. Not just with Born to Iron Man and Chris, with all of you. All of you are just look at Monse today. I mean, Monse, twice? Really? That is amazing. Seriously, guys. I'm telling you, you all deserve a nice pat on the back. Give yourselves and give each other a pat on the back. Una palmadita, we say. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2. This is for us mere mortals. Y me incluyo. The first one is OLIVER space STONE. The second one is JAMES space AVERY. The third one is JESSE space VENTURA. The fourth one, TOM space SELLECK. The fifth one is PAT space SAJAK. And the last one is R period space LEE space ERMEY. Oh my God. It's a lot of letters to say over there. I feel like I just came from a war. Well, as always, I like to give you my audio clues when possible. How do you give a clue for a goldfish? Bueno, puedes poner un salpiqueo, ¿no? A splash or something like that. So yes, these are all celebrities who served in the Vietnam War, or as the Vietnamese call it, the American War. ¿Sabía eso? Yeah, we call it the Vietnam War. They call it the American War. So today, in the year 1965, the U.S. Marines arrived at Da Nang. And I don't know if you guys know, there's, let me look at the name of this documentary. Vietnam documentary. It's absolutely moving. Vietnam documentary. It's called the Vietnam. If you're interested in this topic, for me, I remember when I broke my leg. I remember learning about Vietnam in school, the Vietnam War, not the country. Interesting, right? Forget about the people, forget about the culture, it's the war. And I remember, being told we won, we did what we needed to do. And then I remember traveling and people saying, you won what? What did you win? You won, thanks for participating award. You won, thanks for killing innocent men, award. Crimes of war award. You guys know me, I'm a hippie deep down. So I had this profound interest, and I love these things. I love when all of a sudden you get this itch, right? Este mono, te pica algo. I want to find out more about this. And so I was lucky. I wasn't lucky because I got hit by a car. But when I got hit by a car, I couldn't do very much. So all I did was really read up on things that were interesting to me. So I read books, I watched documentaries, I learned about audio production. That's where I first started learning about different kinds of microphones, because I had been working in broadcasting for 15 years. I didn't even know how to turn the microphone on. And now I know, oh, esto suena un poco saturado, esto, lo otro, mejor grabarlo así. I'm not an expert by any means, but I produce this show live every day, and I produce a podcast, 2 episodes a week, and it's going pretty well. And I produce a video a day on social media, and it's just me. Let me just remind you guys, Vaughn, obviously, they have a marketing team and stuff. Like us, Tosh Pasqua, myself, Kyle. It's just us. So that's why sometimes I'm begging you guys, por favor, que no cuesta nada. Please spread the word. Just dale al retweet or dale al compártelo en los stories, whatever. So there's a documentary. If you're interested in this topic, fascinating documentary. But it's for people who really want to get into a story. And from both sides, they interview Vietnamese soldiers from the Viet Cong. It is a 10-part. Now, here's what I mean. If you really want to get into it, it is a 10-part series, 18 hours of documentary. That's why I said, this is not something you can just do in your day-to-day. So I remember waking up and saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to learn about escalation. And because each chapter has like a certain thing, I should say episode, each episode, chapter es en un libro. Mira, me equivoqué yo, algo que enseño a mis alumnos siempre. And it's fascinating. Now, it is, you're going to see some images that are not, I guess, I feel like if you have to warn somebody that watching a documentary about war, you're going to see some disturbing images, inquietantes. I feel like that's like spoon feeding people. Like, hey, if you watch this movie about the mafia, you might see some killing. Really? Oh, wow. Is that, I thought it was going to be them praying and having breakfast and singing songs in the garden and planting petunias and tulips. Come on. Like, so I feel like sometimes, I get it. You have to put up warning labels on things because of kids, but also like, what did you expect? There's a documentary about a gruesome, disgusting war where so many people died and it just dragged on. And yeah, that's going to be a sad, tough story to stomach. To stomach es tragar. So check it out. It's called, very literal name. It came out in 2017. It's called The Vietnam War. It's very moving and interesting. And it almost makes you feel like you're there on the battlefield in el campo de batalla. It's amazing how, you think, wow, this was filmed and then it's colorized. So it really makes you feel like you're there. And that's one thing documentaries have made learning so much fun. Hey, kind of like what we do here on the show with no name. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more. So stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. You are listening to The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, after the show, we've got Ximena Holiday and her program Test Your English, followed by Rob and Andy and the Lunchtime Show. Oh, and don't forget about Tosh Pasqua. And her program Back to Basics. So many amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. You can learn English, you can have fun, you can make friends, and you can be challenged every single day. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back to the second half of today's program. Oh, yeah. Come on. All right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. So much to do over here in the second half of the show. So let's put the pedal to the metal. What we need to do first is listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time, or as my friend Mitch would say, the third time. The third. We've got to listen to it for the third time, he would say. You see, it's not like a posh accent. It's a bit more clippy, because a posh accent is more like my friend Pensington Shillingsworth the third. And Mitch is more like, a streety, kind of like an East Londoner, I mean, he's like, also, I think he thinks he's a rock star, I mean, he wants to be a rock star, but that's the key word, wannabe. All right. Well, I try and imitate him as best as I can, but it's a really difficult accent to imitate. Well, today's Say What soundbite I think is pretty easy to catch. In fact, we already have a winner. I hope some other people will be able to figure it out as well. Here it is for the third time.
Which is why you should turn around and go. Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study. Because of me, you didn't. But I was selfish, and I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
All right, there you go, folks. We also got Kubla, who figured it out as well. Now, Monse and Kubla rocking our Say What soundbite. And you guys still have one more listen. That's right. All right, what else do we have to do? Oh, our spelling bee. We needed to take a look at our spelling bee. These were celebrities who served in the Vietnam War. The first one on our list is Oliver Stone, the famous director Oliver Stone. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1967. He was assigned to the 2nd Platoon. I forget the word. It's a similar word in Spanish. Platoon. Give me a second. Let me look it up here. Platoon. Sé que es igual casi. Pelotón. That's the word. Pelotón. So Platoon, and he ended up making a movie called Platoon. So did that war affect him? Well, he's one of these people that says that the Vietnam War, serving in the Vietnam War, had a profound effect on every decision he made, on his political views, and all of that jazz. So he was on the Cambodian South Vietnam border, and he frequently saw combat. So that's pretty crazy. He was awarded a Purple Heart because during one of his patrols, he and some of his troops, his fellow troops, were ambushed, atacados, by the North Vietnamese army, the Viet Cong as they called them. And they almost died. They were in a huge engagement. There was fire exchanged. And, they basically escaped and were able to hide out, esconderse, in a nearby cercano, foxhole. And a foxhole's madriguera, torrera, raposera, guarida, a little hole that they found in the ground. I think the other day we looked at the word trenches, if I'm not mistaken. So Oliver Stone, and I imagine, when he was out there in Vietnam, just like many other soldiers, he was getting stoned. Well, it's an easy way to remember it. Se estaba colocando. Oliver Stone. And obviously we know he's directed so many movies. All right, number 2, James Avery. And you're thinking, James Avery? Do I know James Avery? Yes, you do. All right, all I have to say is Phil Banks. Okay, forget Phil Banks. Uncle Phil. No, porque Phil Banks, okay, a lo mejor lo sabes, pero Uncle Phil, Tío Phil, Will Smith, The Fresh Prince, El Tío, the big fat guy that we all loved, Uncle Phil, James Avery, the late James Avery, who portrayed Philip Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from 1990 to 1996. And yes, he was in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. And, he, after his time in the Navy, he was supposedly there for only a year, so that's not too bad, I guess. But he relocated to San Diego, California, where he started writing poetry and scripts for local TV stations. And the rest is history. He went from the battlefield to the set, El Plateau. All right, that is our second one, James Avery, a.k.a. Uncle Phil. The next one, Jesse Ventura. And Jesse Ventura, if you guys remember wrestling, El Pressing Catch, Jesse Ventura was Jesse the Body, le llamaban, el cuerpo, no sé en español, Jesse the Body Ventura. Some people say Ventura, and some people say Ventura. I say Ventura, okay, because that's how I heard it when I was a kid. And he's definitely a controversial guy. Because he was a Navy SEAL, right? Some people claim that he wasn't, that he lied, but he did serve in the war. And this guy's controversial because he later became a politician as well, and he is against basically all the mainstream stuff. So he's not like, oh, I like CNN over Fox. He says they're both shit. CNN is left-wing shit, and Fox is right-wing shit, but they're both shit. So interesting. He doesn't make friends on either side. And I like those people, honestly. He's like, I'm not here trying to please you. So he served his country. Very controversial, but as I say, I loved him as a wrestler, and I like people who, don't just fit in line. The next one, Tom Selleck. I don't know if you guys had Magnum P.I. That was a very popular show. He was on the cover of People mag. He was the man of the hour. From 1980 to 1988, he played Magnum P.I. P.I. stands for Private Investigator. He was also in 3 Men and a Baby. Remember the one with the talking baby? And also Friends. He was in the show Friends, and he was in the Vietnam War as well. And he got drafted. He didn't choose. Some people chose. Some people got drafted, like Elvis. Como te tocó el número, la inscripción, I think you say. The next one, Pat Sajak. I don't know if you know Pat Sajak in Spain, but Pat Sajak is the host of the American, very famous show, Wheel of Fortune. La Ruleta de la Suerte? Wheel of Fortune. So Pat Sajak, for us, is like Arturo. I don't know, somebody who would be your game show host who's been on the air forever. I mean, we've got him, Pat Sajak, and the other one is the other very famous one is Alex Trebek from the show Jeopardy. Those would be like our kings of game show hosts. So Pat Sajak. And last but not least, R. Lee Ermey, you've probably seen him in many movies. In fact, an interesting thing about him is he usually plays a drill sergeant in movies or somebody who's barking orders at somebody. And speaking of movies, I think that's a good segue for today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And here's where we're going to take a look at a flick, and we'll see if you've seen that flick or not. All right, let me give you guys, I like to get, I like to fill in the blanks. Maybe if we can get some sound effects in there, so let's get some sound effects. Close your eyes. Maybe you'll feel like you're at the beach for a minute. Some of you might even be near the beach. Enjoy it for those of us who aren't anywhere near a beach right now. All right, let's take a look then over here. The trailer. A rich girl whose family summers on Cape Cod has a romance with a local poor boy who hopes to become a Major League Baseball player. All right. So a rich girl, una chica, wealthy, rich, well-to-do, adinerado, affluent, muchas formas de decirlo, whose family summers, veranea. Yeah, we say the same thing. I don't usually use it I say we spend our summers, but you can say summers, okay? Who summers on Cape Cod, very popular destination, by the way, in the United States. Cape Cod. It's interesting, si te lo sabes, el nombre del sitio, pues, el Cabo del Bacalao, Cape Cod. So summers on Cape Cod has a romance with a local poor boy who hopes to become a Major League Baseball player, ¿ok? Que tiene la esperanza de convertirse en un jugador de béisbol de primera. The Major Leagues. Y quiero que pronunciéis esta conmigo, por favor, porque no es mayor, major, ¿ok? He's in the Major Leagues, que es una forma de decir está en primera. Now you're in the Major Leagues. My show with no namers. You guys are in the Major Leagues. And folks, we've got some winners. Please give it up for Kubla and Chris. Awesome. The movie is called Summer Catch. Summer Catch, which is interesting because to catch something is if you go fishing, right? Oh, I caught some cod, bacalao, to use the same word as before, right? But also a catch is un braguetazo. Oh, nice catch. You got a good catch there. I think that would be the translation. Summer Catch. It's a movie that came out in the year 2001. Oh, and also catch es hay una trampa. There's a catch here. Hay algo que no. Luego me vas a pedir algo. There's a catch. So it can have that double meaning there. It's a movie with Freddie Prinze Jr., also starring Jessica Biel. We've looked at Jessica Biel, I think pretty recently. It was Jessica Biel's birthday as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen from this movie. Again, this is right at the turn of the millennium, and Freddie Prinze Jr., you guys probably have heard of him, and Matthew Lillard. Now you're thinking, do I know these guys? Yeah, well, if you've seen the Scooby-Doo movies, they're in those together. And also Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. I don't know if those were popular, but those are Kevin Smith movies that are quite popular in the United States. They're just about these two idiots, but that's what we like to see. Now, this is the third film out of 5 with these two. So these two obviously love, they love working together. Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. And they've worked together, as I said, on many other films. Wing Commander, which was 1999. She's All That. Ella es todo eso y mucho más. She's All That. No sé si se traduce así. Debería el título. That's from 1999. Then Scooby-Doo 2002, Scooby-Doo 2, and Monsters Unleashed. But originally, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were attached to the project. They were attached to it. Es que estaban hablando de ellos ser partícipes, ¿no? Es que estaban firmados todavía. They didn't sign on, but they were attached to it, right? But, you got to reach negotiations. It's not that simple. And we know that happens all the time. They originally had another person in mind to play this role. And I think it would be funny to live in a world where you could live in that alternate reality where where Will Smith acabó siendo y es, John Travolta fue el de tal. So the people who were originally considered to play the role would be interesting. That could be a good premise for a series. All right, let's take a look. So Ryan says to Pete, after he tells Ryan that he's a great pitcher, and we looked at the word pitch before. To pitch is lanzar, to catch is coger. So the pitcher and the catcher, those are two pretty easy positions, right? And so I could go over all the positions, but I already did that. So if you want to learn more about baseball, all you have to do is listen to the baseball episode of FYI. Yeah, well, there are a lot of idiomatic expressions that come from baseball. You catch my drift? Me pillas. So he says, yeah, well, what you think don't mean shit. ¿Qué? Sería doesn't mean shit, pero otra vez, no tenemos el libro de gramática con nosotros como gente que habla nativamente. So what you think don't mean shit. Okay, lo que tú crees no me importa una mierda, no tiene ningún significado para mí. And Pete and Augie are confused. Un poco confusos. They're confused. And Ryan says, what? Look, all that matters, lo único que importa, is making it. And what is to make it? If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. To make it, triunfar. That's what he's saying in the song, New York, New York. So he says, look, all that matters is making it. Now, make can be, por ejemplo, to make it can be hacerlo, cocinarlo, right? It can have a lot of meanings. That's why you always have to listen to the context as always. But in this case, it's triunfando. Es acudir to, oh, I'm glad you made it. Me alegro que pudiste venir. But in this one, it's obviously if they're professional baseball players sitting around saying, we got to make it. Hay que triunfar. Hay todo o nada. And then he goes on to say, getting signed, que te fichen, que firmes, getting signed and cashing a check. Okay. And to cash a check es, si tienes un talón, pues llevarlo al banco y cobrar. To cash a check. And right now, I'm lucky. If some scout from Podunk, and Podunk siendo un sitio cualquiera, right? No, it's, I think in the movie it's actually a place, but it's like it's not an important one, obviously. He's minimizing it. And a scout, a talent scout, is somebody who's always looking for talent. So, como lo ponéis aquí, a scout es espía, vigilante, centinela, cazatalentos. That's the word in Spanish. Okay, a scout, a talent scout. So he goes, I'm lucky if some scout from Podunk lets me pitch batting practice for the next couple of seasons. And pitch, as we said, is lanzar. Batting practice is donde van. Usually you go to a batting cage, no, que está encerrado, and you practice batting, swinging the bat. Now, you can have a pitcher who throws it, or you can have a pitching machine. If you've never been to batting cages, they're fun. Just remember, the machine was going to keep throwing balls, so get out of the way. If this is really important where you stand. Obviously, you wear a helmet. If you've never been to a batting cage, it's a lot of fun. Usually in the United States, they're attached to mini golf places. So you got mini golf and batting cages and maybe a carousel, a couple little things for the family. And he says, and seasons, temporadas, right? And Augie says, no, you're wrong. No tienes la razón. Estás equivocado. And Ryan says, bullshit. ¿Y cómo traduzco bullshit? Y una mierda. Bullshit. No lo creo. That's all that matters. Eso es lo único que importa. And Augie says, no, bullshit. No es tontería. What matters is there are some of us who would say, you've already made it. Lo que importa es que algunos de nosotros diríamos que ya has triunfado. Some of us Some of us who have been there for you, que han estado a tu lado, who drove to Boston College, driven, conducir, to Boston College to see you pitch, jugar, tirar, and who went to Framingham State, no conocía esta universidad, and sat at your mom's wake with you. And the wake is when somebody dies. It's not the funeral part. It's el velatorio, when you see the body and you pay your respects, que es bastante irónico, que se llama wake, si están muertos, right? So they sat at your mom's wake with you, and who cleaned up behind the oasis when you couldn't pick yourself up off the ground, okay? I cleaned you up at the oasis, el bar, no? Te levanté del suelo, te limpié del suelo, y cuando you couldn't pick yourself up off the ground, que estabas tan borracho que no te podías ni levantar. And who let you live with me? ¿Y quién te dejó vivir conmigo? When you and your old man were at it, cuando tú y tu padre, tu viejo, estabais peleados, to be at it. Yeah, we matter. Importamos. I matter. Importo. You bet your ass. Te puedes apostar what I think matters. I ain't missed one game. I haven't. I ain't missed one game, Rye. Not one game. And I'm proud as hell. Orgullosísimo. I'm proud as hell you've done what you've done. When you hit that mound, man, and the mound is where the pitcher stands. Okay. Again, this is all on, we're not going to look at it now. We're going to look at it in the baseball episode. Ya está hecho. ¿Dónde estaba? I'm proud as hell you've done what you've done when you hit that mound, man. I got all I can do to keep from crying, thinking about what we've been through, pensando en lo que hemos atravesado. Me and him, and your father and Mike, none of us has missed a game. No hemos perdido ni un partido. None of us has missed a game. That ain't just about a paycheck. Y eso no va solo de una nómina, Ryan. It's about having pride in what you do. Va sobre tener orgullo en lo que tú has hecho. Cause I do, porque yo lo tengo. Great movie. It's called Summer Catch. But it's time to move on to homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, this is a section of the show where we take a look at words that may or may not sound the same. You tell me, amigos. And as always, it's going to be tricky. Well, not always. You guys usually figure this one out. All right. Is everybody ready? The first word. Okay. And then we got to go to a commercial break. I can't believe it. We have about a minute or so. The first word I know you guys know in Spain. Okay. Why? Because it's a very popular dish soap. Para lavar platos. Un jabón para lavar platos. All right. But the question is, do we pronounce it the same way you do? That's the other question here, right? So the word is hada. It's a folkloric winged creature. Okay, a folkloric winged creature, hada. Okay. Now, also back in the day when I was a kid, and I'm not bragging about this, but I just want to let you know this. It also was a very offensive way to say a homosexual person. You say, this person's it's like saying marica, which I would never recommend insulting anybody because of their religion, what they do behind closed doors. In fact, I'm not interested. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your sexual preference. I'm not going to tell you mine. So you see what I mean? So I'm not interested in yours either. We can just talk about the weather, sports. I like to keep it simple, especially if it's people I don't know very well. Somebody asked me once, what are your pronouns? I'm like, that's none of your goddamn business. No es asunto tuyo what I feel like or what I don't feel like, is it? When am I going to tell you that? Just give me the fucking receipt. Dame el ticket. Okay, so Ada, and also a very offensive way of saying somebody who sleeps with someone of the same sex. And the second word is transbordador. También es transportar. También es un barquito pequeño que te lleva a una isla. I think you say this word in Spanish too. The question is, how do you pronounce these words in English, and do they sound the same? Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it, but we are off. Yeah, we'll be right back. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. We're here for the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. That's right, amigos. Part 4 coming at you. I can't believe it. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. And I hope you're going to spread the word. Don't forget to rate your favorite Vaughn Radio shows. Valóranos 5 stars. You can also leave a comment. I know you can do it on Apple Podcasts. I believe iVox, you can only rate each individual show, but not the whole show. Good job, iVox. Great. Thank you. That's why you're popular only in Spain. No offense. Just saying. Got to think big. Let people give their opinion about the podcast, right? Come on. Just putting a star. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of iVox. No offense, folks. If you listen to the program on iVox, I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's everywhere. You can listen to FYI wherever you listen to your Vaughn podcasts. And this Friday, Richard Vaughn will join me on the pod. Don't miss it. As always, double episode. Well, the second episode is for subscribers only, exclusive. All right, well, folks, we've got so much to do, so let's listen to our Say What soundbite, and then we'll check our homophones.
Which is why you should turn around and go.
What?
Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study. Because of me, you didn't. But I was selfish, and I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That's your Say What soundbite for the fourth time. Some of our students have already figured it out. So wonderful job to all of you, and a great job in general. It's lovely to see all of you participating. Great to see our amigos on board. Let's see what we've got in our homophones section. Kubla says it's and they're not homophones. All right, let's see. Those are the correct words. Let's see if your classmates agree. Monse disagrees. Monse says they are homophones. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Chris says and could be homophones. Maybe there are little nuances. Chris, I love that answer. You're like, kind of, maybe. Hey, maybe you're right. I don't know. Well, I do know. Anybody else want to participate? The first word is ada, right? Which is crazy. When I first saw the word, I'm like, ¿por qué lleva una H? Ada. I thought it was ADA, right? Winged creature, ada, is a fairy. Okay? Fairy. It's also, again, I wouldn't use it to insult anybody. When I was a kid, it was an insult, okay, to somebody who liked someone of the same sex, right? Again, I don't ever think you should insult anybody, but you should know what the insults are, right? Doesn't mean you should be ignorant to them. So that word is fairy, okay? We're going to, hopefully, we'll be visited by the tooth fairy, okay? De hecho, la hada del diente es el ratoncito Pérez. We don't say Perez the rat, the little mouse. No es ratón. It's a weird one, ratón y rata, right? So the tooth fairy. Okay, did I say fiery? No, it's very different. We don't say fiery. Fiery suena como con mucho fuego. Mount Etna is fiery. So fairy, okay? Fairy. And the second word, I know you know the word, but you say ferry, doble R, pero evidentemente nosotros no lo pronunciamos así porque no sabemos pronunciar esa R. Yo sí, pero muchos no, de los americanos. So I'm going to just tell you the sentence, and you tell me if they sound the same. The ferry had to take a ferry. The ferry had to take a ferry. Absolutely, folks. At least in the United States. I can't tell you about Australia, but in the States, those two words sound exactly the same. Ferry, ferry. There you go. I took a ferry to a fairy tale forest, a fairy tale. So ferry, ferry. Interesting word, isn't it? And the second word, let me give you some more insight on the second word. A ferry is a passenger boat, right? Transbordador, si hablamos de en el espacio, we're talking about a shuttle, que también puede ser a shuttle, un autobús lanzadera. That's what you would call a shuttle. And but we do use the word to ferry. We're going to ferry people to the island. Okay, vamos a transportar a la gente, llevar. Okay, to ferry. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Who's the first one? You are on fire today, Monse. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, it's time for another challenge here. It's time for Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, folks. It's Double Trouble, only on the show with no name. And good luck, because as you guys know, I think the hardest sections on this show are the spelling bee, Double Trouble, and maybe Say What. I could be wrong here. All right. Again, it depends on the individual, doesn't it? All right. So, si no conseguimos cruzar ese arroyo, vamos a estar en la mierda. Te lo traduzco lo más fácil para que lo puedas asegurar. Puedo decir, vamos a estar jodidos, vamos a estar en una mala situación, pero quiero que lo pilles. Entonces te lo estoy dando como lo diríamos también. Okay? Listen, I don't like insulting people. I don't like using vulgarities, but sometimes estar en la mierda es estar en la mierda, ¿no? Don't sugarcoat it. Oh, it's a difficult. No, we're fucked. Right? Hay veces que hay que usar la palabra correcta, right? Without trying to insult anybody. As we say, a lot of times we use the word fuck in English. You've heard it here on the show. I'm like, unfucking believable. Am I insulting you or am I telling you you're amazing? se queda corto la palabra unbelievable. So le doy más. So that's not an insult in that case. That's me. It is vulgar. It continues to be vulgar, but it's not an insult. I'm telling you, you're the shit. Eres lo mejor. Okay, so si no conseguimos cruzar ese arroyo, vamos a estar en la mierda. You have to give us the same word twice in that translation. Let's see. Francisco says, to be in hot water. Okay, this is a nice, that would be like me saying, chewing gum. Ahora qué? Chewing, okay. Yeah, that's good. Estar en problemas is to be in hot water, but ahí no me dices mucho, ahí. So good. I like the way you're thinking, but eso es gritar cosas al aire. Eso no es una frase en inglés, right, Francisco? So remember, guys, if you're going to participate, don't just throw words at me here. Let's communicate. This is a communication class, right? And if we don't do it now, what are we waiting for? Right? Ya lo escribiré bien cuando tenga el examen de Cambridge. No. You'll write it right in my class too. At least, every teacher runs their class differently, right? Okay, let's see. Monse. I see a full sentence. I mean, Monse, you're a model student. Let's see if she got it. She says, all right, ladies and gentlemen, she is incredible, unstoppable. It's Monse. All right, si no conseguimos cruzar ese arroyo. If we don't manage to cross that creek. Now, Monse, I'm going to give it to you, but si fuera un examen de Cambridge, hablando de exámenes, it would be wrong, right? Porque ese no es lo mismo que él, right? De que, bueno, no, quería que pusieras, estábamos sacándote la estructura, versus aquello, versus aquellos. So I'm going to give it to you. But attention to detail. Remember, at least in my class, you guys can do whatever you want in your normal English class. This isn't a normal English class. Si no conseguimos cruzar ese arroyo, if we don't manage to cross that creek, hago el pequeño ajuste, we'll be up the creek. Excellent job. Now, if you want to add emphasis, no sé pronunciar hoy, it's will be up Schitt's Creek. Or Shit Creek. Se puede decir shits con apóstrofe S o Shit Creek sin ninguna S. Now, Monse, does that sound familiar? I've never seen it, but I hear there's a very popular series called Schitt's Creek. Pero shit como nombre de apellido. S-C-H-I-T-T. Monse, please confirm or deny this, but if I'm not mistaken, which is great that you're getting this here. So if we don't manage to cross that creek, we'll be up the creek or we'll be up Schitt's Creek. Okay? And me encanta, estoy metido en el arroyo de la mierda. Estoy aquí arriba del todo. So, excellent. Let's see, Kubla. If we don't get to cross that gutter, we're going to be in the gutter. Excellent effort, Kubla, but it's not, we wouldn't say call an arroyo a gutter. I've never heard that comparison, but great effort. We never take away points for creativity. Let's see, anybody else? Leo. If we don't get across that creek, we're going to be up the creek. I love it. And you guys aren't even vulgar, right? Chris, if we don't make it across that creek, or if we don't manage to conseguir, we're going to be up the creek. Absolutely. Oh, Monse, ahí te tengo. Schitt's Creek, like the awesome series. Yeah. O sea, era perfecto, right? And she says, yes, and it's a masterpiece. Oh, I'm going to check it out then. If you say it's a masterpiece, because you didn't say it's good. You just said it's a masterpiece. So it's called, ahora entendéis ese juego de palabras, Shit Creek or Schitt's Creek, como se puede decir. So if you're up Schitt's Creek, it means estás jodidísimo, okay? Where else you can be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, sin remo tampoco. So if you want to add, que realmente estamos jodido. But you can say I'm up the creek or I'm up Schitt's Creek or Shit Creek. All right, so there we go, my amigos. Excellent that you guys recognized it. Oh, and speaking of creek, that's from another series as well. Dawson's Creek. What did you call it? Los problemas de Dawson. En español es que sois la hostia con los namings de las cosas. ¿Cómo llamabais el clásico? Joey, que era la que se casó con Tom Cruise, pobrecilla, Katie Holmes. See, I try not to give my opinion, but it seeps in there sometimes. What an idiot. I love Tom Cruise's movie making. I love his movies in general. You know, I love Top Gun 2, Maverick, but I think he's a moron as a person. He just doesn't seem, I don't know. I don't know him personally. I think also, too, that Scientology, you know, that those kind of cults, esas sectas, you know, they start to do a number on your head. Te empiezan a hacer, problemillas. Oh, yes, Dawson crece. Okay, well, claro, en inglés, it's Dawson's Creek. O sea, es el arroyo de Dawson. En vez de Dawson crece. I remember watching that show religiously. I admit it. Okay, fine. All right, folks. Well, yesterday you didn't get it. We're going to try and get them in there today by hook or by crook. It's time for You're Joking. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking. That's right. You're joking, amigos. And we've got some jokes for you. As always, you know me, I love to come with the jokes. And we're going to monkey around a little bit today. I like to come with the sound effects, too. I've got, you guys wouldn't believe it. Well, I think I've got 250 sound effects, around 250 the last time I checked. And they're all sound effects that I've found and, you know, remastered and made them shorter, longer, whatever, brought the volume up. So I have quite a database of sound effects for my podcast, for this as well. All right, here we go with our jokes, amigos. What's a monkey's favorite game? Hangman. Hangman, ahorcado, colgar, hombre, hangman. Well, what do monkeys do? They hang. They hang out. Humanos también. What were you doing with your friends? We were just hanging. Same thing as monkeys. La diferencia es el contexto. What were the monkeys doing at the zoo? They were just hanging. Estaban de tranquis. Estaban colgados. Same word. So hangman, I remember that's a game we used to play when I would go to the diner with my mom. It's a way I learned a lot of different things. And they used to put the placemats, the paper placemats in front of you. And my mom would always have a pen and we would play hangman. You say ahorcado, right? Where you got to fill in the letters. Que estábamos hablando antes de Wheel of Fortune, Ruleta de la Suerte, same thing, right? What is hangman? So you get it? All right. I'll stop monkeying around. All right. So what happens when you double cross a monkey? And to double cross is traicionar. Joder, vamos. When you screw them over, to double cross, dar una puñalada. Okay? Traicionar. What happens when you double cross a monkey? Easy. They go bananas. Go bananas. Se vuelven locos. They go bananas. Okay. All right. Fine. One more. You got to really listen carefully here, okay, to get this one. What did the monkey dad-to-be's brother? So he's a monkey and he's a dad-to-be. Va a ser padre. Okay. So what did the monkey dad-to-be? O sea, es un padre es un mono que va a ser padre. What did his brother say to him when he found out he was expecting? ¿Qué dijo su hermano cuando se enteró que estaba esperando un bebé, mono, no? So, let me give you the whole joke again. What did the monkey dad-to-be, okay, padre, un mono que va a ser padre, what did his brother say to him when he found out that he was expecting? Oh, easy. He said, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. What? No? Did anybody get it? Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. This means you're surprised. Okay, this is something we say when no, man. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. You're from that town too? ¿Tú eres ese pueblo también? Pues yo seré el tío de un mono. Seriously. So a way of saying, are you serious? Get out of here. Calla. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Y como su hermano va a tener un hijo, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I got to say something, guys. I wrote that one myself. And if you didn't know it, well, now you know the expression, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Folks, we've got to keep moving on because it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And let's see if you can figure out who our famous birthday boys and girls are. The first person was born in 1976, a year before me. An American actor, producer, and screenwriter. He was in movies, starred, in fact, protagonizó. He starred in movies such as I Know What You Did Last Summer in 1997. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in 1998. She's All That. We talked about that today. Summer Catch, which was today's Name That Movie. Scooby-Doo. My favorite thing is my daughter and I, we always say Shaggy's line. Zoinks! I don't know what he says in Spanish, but in English, he says zoinks, which nobody says. Zoinks is like, Dios! But nobody says it except him. So my daughter and I are bringing zoinks back. Estamos volviendo zoinks a ser popular. Number 2, this person was a singer, songwriter, and actor. He was the drummer and vocalist of the group The Monkees. You guys know The Monkees. When I saw her face, now I'm a believer, not a trace, ni un rastro. Put down in my mind, I'm in love. Ooh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I could. The Monkees, folks. And the drummer of the Monkees, the only surviving one. And last but not least, this guy was born in 1977, an American actor, best known for playing Dawson Leary in Dawson's Creek. And well, interesting thing about his name is Dutch, okay, Holandés, and it translates to from the creek. ¿Qué? O sea, era el protagonista de Dawson's Creek y su apellido en holandés es Del Arroyo, from the creek. That is what I call a coincidence. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Val Roll. Number 1, Freddie Prinze Jr. Number 2, Mickey Dolenz. Number 3, James Vanderbeek, which, as we just found out, is Del Arroyo, of the creek, Vanderbeek. And this is him breaking up with Joey. Time to move on to college. I cried. When I saw this scene, I cried my eyes. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, guys. You don't know. Maybe, I try and act like a tough guy, but I'm the first one to cry during Frozen. Let it go. I'm like, go, Elsa, go. Be free. So this is James breaking up. I don't think he wants to, but I think it's time to move on in life. He's trying to, move on there. I remember this period. It was tough. Anybody who had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's like, okay, time for the next phase of your life. Are you involved or not? So he says, which is why you should turn around and go. Por eso deberías irte, darte la vuelta y marcharte. Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris. and study. And because of me, you didn't. I was selfish. I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me. So it's not him breaking up with her because he doesn't love her. He thinks he's hurt her enough. And as I said, they're moving on to college. Oh, Dawson's Creek. Here we go.
Which is why you should turn around and go. Last year, you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study. Because of me, you didn't. But I was selfish, and I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
All right, folks, there you go. And time for our final section, Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. You guys are truly amazing students, amazing people as well. So thank you. Today's Name That Lyric, I'm going to dedicate it to you guys because it's one of those songs that puts you in a great mood, just like you guys do for me. So thank you. And it's I'm a Believer by the Monkees. And I saw her face. The first line, I thought love was only true in fairy tales. We looked at the word fairy today. Fairy tale is cuento de hada. See, there's my Spanish again. So check out the lyrics. It's I'm a Believer, not Belieber, Justin fan. No. I'm a Believer by the Monkees. And folks, thank you. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure. You all did a wonderful job, and I'm very proud of you. Keep up the good work. And up next, you've got the wonderful Ximena Holiday and her program Test Your English. And you thought this was only true in fairy tales. Woo! Come on. Thought love was only true in fairy tales. For someone else, but not for me. Woo! Come on. Who was out to get me? Iba por mí. It was out to get me. Love. I got dreams. Sing it. And then I saw her face.